on YouTube.
Okay, you're out on YouTube and I'll hit record. It's all yours when you're ready.
We'll just give it a couple more minutes. And, at 6 o'clock, we'll call it to order. All right, it's 6 o'clock, Mike, we're ready to go.
Okay, it's all yours when you're ready.
Okay. So I call to order the Town of Rochester Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for May 20th, 2021. And I ask that the secretary please take the roll call.
Mr. Zaris,
Present?
Mr. Behringer,
Present.
Mr. Fisher, Ms. Bresler,
Present.
Ms. Mr. Wassel,
Present.
and is that it? Ms. Vinci?
Present.
Mr. Fisher, are you online? Can you acknowledge?
Yes, I'm here, but it keeps freezing up.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Please also note present is Mary Lou Christiana, Town Attorney, Christina Ferrara serving as the Secretary today. Mike Baden is performing as the meeting host for both Zoom and YouTube for us. So I've confirmed with the Town's Council that tonight's meeting has been convened in accordance with the Governor's March 13th, 2020 Executive Order 202.1, which suspends certain provisions of the Open Meetings Law to allow a municipal board to convene a meeting via video conferencing. In accordance with the executive order, the public has been provided with the ability to view tonight's meeting via YouTube, and a transcript will be provided at a later date. The secretary has completed the roll call of the board members, and there's a quorum present for the meeting. I've also confirmed with the secretary that this meeting has been duly noticed. We fulfilled our legal notice requirements by posting notice on the town clerk bulletin board and outside door, posting legal notice in Shawangunk Journal, and posting notice on the town's website. Thank you. So I don't see where there is anyone present for the applicant at this point. For the Sturgis application, I ask that we give it just another minute or two. See if
You have
Mr.
any
Sturgis
minutes or
joins.
anything? You have any minutes to take care of while you're waiting or anything like that?
We do not. We don't have any other business in that we haven't met for since February was our last meeting. So it's been a couple meetings. We've passed that the minutes on that last one. There is a question, Mary Lou, and I don't want to catch you by surprise on this.
But here we are.
But here we are. So I have some questions regarding a statute I had seen. I don't know if it's a statute or a ruling concerning the merger doctrine, whereby some boards, not our board, but other boards in the state have considered two parcels merged if they abut one another and are in joint ownership. So that what it does effectively is eliminate the property line in between the two properties. And I can send you some information on that. Maybe you can take an opportunity to do some research for me, or at
Sure.
least,
I do know that years ago, Ulster County did that on all properties that were in that situation. And it was a big mess getting it straightened out. So I don't know if that has changed, or if maybe some people have that as a local law, some towns. But my understanding is if it's two separate deeds, it doesn't automatically merge. You might want to sell one of your parcels. And if they automatically merge, you'd have to have a subdivision to sell a parcel
That's-
that you bought separately.
yep. So that's in the same vein as what I was looking at with that, and how it might be applicable to certain appeals that come before the board.
Yeah, so certainly send it to me and I'll take a look.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
That's
that.
generally been the thought process.
Okay.
Bruce, do you know, was the applicant sent the link?
I did. I forwarded that to them yesterday as a matter of
Okay.
fact.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that they were noticed, that's all.
Oh, I did. I did not send it with a return receipt via email, so I don't know if in fact
On
he
the
opened it,
application, do we have
but I
their
do
phone
know it
number?
didn't bounce back.
Do we have their phone number on the application? Let me look that up.
Yeah, let's see. That's a good question.
Oh, we do, but I can't read it. Okay, I think I've got it.
646 number.
Yeah, 646-5. Oh, we don't want to say it out loud. Never mind. Would you like me to try to call them?
Please.
We'll see if they answer. Okay, I'm gonna put it on mute. He did not answer. However, if he's anything like me, he figures it was about an extended warranty for his automobile when he did not recognize the number. So I did leave him a message telling him that we're in this meeting now. If he checks his Gmail account, he'll get the link, and that we'll wait a few more minutes for him. I wonder if he, because we used to meet at 7, sometimes people think the meeting's still at 7.
Let me make sure I didn't inform him it was at 7 erroneously.
while we're waiting for him, um, did we get a map and I'm just not seeing it, or a sketch? I have not seen that on, okay,
No,
Nope.
okay. So Mike, is anybody watching on YouTube? Because, must be pretty exciting. He's calling me back. Hello, this is Mary Lou Christiana.
If he didn't get it, he can give me his email. I can resend it to him.
you might have changed your mind too.
You're muted,
Alright,
Mary Lou.
You're on mute.
Okay. He did get the email and he does not use Zoom. So he said that he, emailed to request a phone number to call in. And he hasn't heard anything back. My guess is maybe he sent it to the planning office and no one was there to
You
catch
probably
that.
did, and I did not get a chance to, I normally check email every morning and I did not get a chance.
Okay,
to,
so do we have a phone number for him to call in that somebody can
we,
mail to?
we do.
Why don't we wait until next month now, being that he isn't right here or anything ready?
No, he's waiting for us to email him the phone number to call
Let's
in.
give him the opportunity to
Yeah.
get in.
So Bruce, if you send him the full link, it has all the phone number and everything. The full invite. Do you have it?
I do not have the full. Let me check.
You should have it.
Yeah.
From long ago, probably, because we used
Yeah.
this one.
Far, far away.
Yeah. So Zoom gives you everything, gives you the phone number, call-ins.
I don't know.
Cooper says hello.
You're lucky my kitty hasn't came on my lap quite yet.
If she starts barking, she gets exiled.
Island by location, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
The New York number is the one I tend to give. And then he needs the meeting ID number and the password.
That's the wrong one. That wasn't the recurring one. That was,
You want me to email it to you?
yeah, please.
Okay, yep.
I believe I'm actually sitting here biting my tongue. Oy.
We all got to be team players during this work the way we're working right now, Bill.
I think I mentioned something to you the other day about this, Mike.
Mention what to me?
how everybody ain't got access to computers or access to stuff to be on.
She didn't say he doesn't have access. She said he doesn't use Zoom. There's a difference.
Well, that's, yeah,
Yeah.
the same, to me, that's the same difference.
Well,
Well,
no, that's why there's a phone number.
that's why there's a
People-
phone
We have
number. He
lots of
just-
people who call in.
he just wasn't
Yeah.
given the information. So,
Uh-huh.
And now I'm having difficulty getting his email.
Find it.
do you want to call him and just give him the info?
Yeah,
I think he's calling me right now. I don't have the info, Mike.
I can,
I'll-
okay.
All I have
I'll
is the
email.
pass.
Mary Lou, I can email to you. Okay, so Mary Lou, I've sent that on to you.
Can one of you give me the call-in number and I'll give it to the applicant right now?
Put it down in the chat,
Is-
Mary Lou.
Ready, Mary Lou?
Okay.
Yep,
go
Mike,
ahead.
put it in the chat. We're okay. Or so he says.
Want to write it down, or you want me to give it to you or no?
It's the New York phone number, and then the passcode is down below.
Okay, Mike, I don't see anything in the chat.
All right, so
You can give it to me, Bruce. Of course.
Oh,
929
sorry.
92.
Yeah, okay.
205
Mhm.
6099.
Okay, thank you. Oh, you heard it?
But he also needs the meeting ID and the passcode.
Mike, that
That-
chat just came through. There was a delay.
I just seen it myself.
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
Okay.
Okay, you should expect him to be calling in and getting all that information in the next minute or two.
Thanks, Mary Lou. I have it open as soon as I see him.
Okay,
Sorry, apparently the first time I put it in the chat, it put it in the chat to the waiting room, not the main room.
oh, okay.
It said everyone, but what I didn't see was in the waiting room attached to it, so.
I feel a little bit like Lily Tomlin on Laughing, the operator, calling her,
I
putting my
remember that.
headphones in, switching them to the phone.
Now, the fact that we know that dates us all.
I was
That
gonna
a good
say,
skit. One ringy dingy.
I should have said, is this a party to whom I am speaking when he answered, right?
Exactly.
If I was gonna have an alter ego, I think I'd like it to be Lily Tomlin though.
Okay, here we go,
Alright.
guys.
Yeah, I got him. Good. So, Mr. Sturgis, can you hear us?
Calling me.
I just came in on the phone because I keep freezing up.
Was that your phone number that just called in, Charlie?
Yes.
Okay.
He missed one of the numbers in the meeting ID, so he's gonna try again.
Yeah, Charlie, you have both your PC and your phone on. We're getting a lot of echo because of that.
I got the computer muted.
He's muted on the camera, but I just muted the phone. There's a delay because of the different signals. So,
Hey.
Lily, you want to give him another shout? See if he's gonna get in?
Well, he's trying now. I don't know if you heard, he'd missed one of the numbers in the numbers that I read to him.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I
So
didn't
he
hear that.
was putting in the wrong ID.
Here we go.
That's him.
I'm in the
Mr.
meeting.
Sturgis, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Beautiful.
Very good, thank you. We apologize for the delay in getting you online. We're
No problem.
all pitching in due to a resignation on the staff, so we're doing our best to fill in, find out how little we know when we do that. So let's just, from the formality perspective, this is zoning permit number 21-049, John Sturgis. The property is at 442 Towpath Road in Accord. It's an area variance. The parcel is in an R5 zoning district, plus or minus 1.7 acres. Mr. Sturgis is proposing to build a single family residence. It does not meet the 100-foot setback from the high water line, and the proposed structure would be 70 feet away from the high water line, requiring a 30-foot variance. So, Mr. Sturgis, why don't you talk us through your project, your proposal?
Well, it's first of all, I was given a building permit for that site on 2014. I'm hopefully this is just a renewal because I have health department approval, and I did put in power to that site, but I didn't complete the construction. It was just too expensive at that point, and the family decided not to move forward until we found a cheaper option. So this is, in a sense, trying to just get a renewal of the permit. I thought it was going to be a little bit easier than this, but the idea is the property is unique. I think along the span of the stream from Accord to Algarville, it's quite elevated above the stream bed. The stream bed falls away fairly sharply. And even though it doesn't meet the stated setback from the 100-year floodplain, it is well above. The actual building would be, the first floor, I believe, would be somewhere between 6 and 8 feet at the lowest point above, but the property is basically flat and the stream bed falls away. So as you go downstream, it could be as high as certainly more than 10 feet, could be close to 14 feet above. It depends on what we find in putting the foundation in and how far above the surface of what's actually looks like a plateau in that space. And that's why I thought we had the approval earlier because I've talked with Jerry Davis before, and he's very familiar with the property, and he just knew it, so we had the permit. So I thought we'd get a fairly quick approval process for this time around as well.
Anything else you'd like to tell us about it?
Excuse me?
Is there anything else you'd like to describe for us?
Well, it's a single family dwelling. As I said, we put considerable time into it. I've had the highway department, the superintendent of highways has back in 2014 already told us where he would prefer to see the driveway go in. I think we also want to put a shed on the property for wood storage. I've submitted the documentation for the building. Hopefully you've seen that. You've hopefully seen the site plan. It's been in my family since 1964. So, I mean, we've used it for quite some time. And obviously it's a place where I would like to live. So, I know the neighbors upstream and downstream. So, anyway, I think it meets the spirit. Putting a building there meets the spirit of all the zoning restrictions that surround the stream, and I think that really is what it is. It's the floodplain restriction, but this is the property that is above it by quite a bit. So if you look at it horizontally, it's, as you say, it's within it's within the 100-foot span, but this is elevated.
So what you're saying is the footprint is within that 100-foot.
Well, the 100-foot distance from the 100-year floodplain, but I'll put it this way: if you measure it horizontally and don't take into account there's the land itself is decently elevated. The 100-foot floodplain is, as I say, somewhere between 6 and 8 feet below the closest that the building will approach the floodplain, the first floor of the building. And if I understand the spirit of the zoning restriction, you don't really want to have flooded houses. And this area is never flooded. This particular area of the property is never flooded. It's well above. There's, in fact, that's why I invited people. I sent a message. I requested, to meet people there if they wanted to actually look at it. I think you get a good feel for it. There's a fairly deep, there's a ravine between the stream and this property site that drops off at about the same pace. It's higher than the stream. It doesn't have water flowing through it. I would assume that during the flood there might be some water flowing through it, but it just drops right down. It's about 30 feet wide, and at the far end, at the downstream end, it might be 15 plus, maybe 18 feet above what might be what deemed a flooded area. I mean, it's pretty steep drop off, but the property is flat. It goes straight. It's like a flat toe. It sticks out like somebody's nose. So, and from best we can tell, there's a lot of soil that deposited there. The health department went down, I think, about 8 feet in a couple of areas and found good percolation.
Okay. So we are at a bit of a disadvantage. We don't have the survey or the site plan in front of us or available to us. So,
Okay,
so
okay. Why don't you have those? Did
when
I
was
ask
that
those to be-
submitted? When was that submitted to
Okay.
the zoning board?
Well, the zoning board was submitted to the zoning board in 2014, and then I resubmitted it 8 weeks ago.
To the zoning board?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The shape of the building, the original permit was issued for a 2-story building and a little over 2,000 square feet, 3-bedroom. What we're proposing at the moment is a single-story building with just under 1,000 square feet. So it actually has a smaller footprint.
Well, the
And-
reason with the site plan, as I said, when we opened the meeting, that, we've had a recent resignation on the staff, so that
Mhm.
we are, pitching in as a team to try and fill that gap in the interim. So there are things that
Okay.
are falling through the cracks. The site plan clearly was
Okay.
one of them. So, yeah,
Bruce,
we'll
I
do our
could,
best to.
Bruce,
we'll
I
do
could,
our-
I could share the parcel viewer if that would assist the process.
No, Mike, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that, but I think I personally would like to see the site plan itself. The parcel viewer, we know, keeps things disproportional based on parallax views and things like that. So the site plan would be a bit more favorable for us to have. So
Yeah, when I talked to Brianna, she said she would have it available for you. Is she the one who's left the firm, the
she has,
organization?
she has, and yes,
And she gave us, on the 26th of April, your application, the zoning, determination from the building department. There is not included with this any pictures or maps or renderings. And,
Everything was included in that. I have a photograph of the building because it's going to be modular construction. I had not only a floor plan, but a foundation plan. There was a site plan showing the septic system, the house, and the proposed well. All of that was submitted.
Were they perhaps submitted to the building department, but not the zoning board? Because they're two
Well, they
separate
were-
applications.
Yes, they were submitted to the building department, and I was told that she would retrieve those for you because she said it was just a stairway away. So I
Okay,
assumed
and,
I
and-
assumed you would have all this information.
and it was shortly after your, application was received that Brianna
Yes.
left.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
Bruce, Mr. Chairman, we could ask the building department to give us that information. Or we can ask the applicant to resubmit it to us.
Yeah, I'm running out of. I've submitted multiple site plans, so I'm sort of have one left, and so I'd have to. I think most of the other stuff I probably have it as a. The only thing I didn't put into a PDF. I could probably send it by PDF if you give me an email address. The only thing that's too big to send is the site plan. It's 3 by 3 feet, roughly by 3 feet.
right. We'll round it up from the building department and distribute it to the board members. So,
Okay.
and we'll work. from
Yeah,
there.
I'm sorry. I thought you had all the information.
No, that, right. Okay. Well, thank you. So, with that, if there's nothing further, I'd open it up to the board for questions. Charlie, as senior man, why don't we start with you? Is there anything you'd like to ask, or shall we move along, pass it along?
It's like his camera has frozen.
there he is.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, no, nothing at this time.
Okay. Thank you, Charlie. Bill?
Yeah, I do have a question to him. Is this gonna be a full basement you're gonna put in, or are you putting on a slab, or what?
No, it's initially planned to be a crawl space, but if the soil is deep enough, I would say, if it's fine with the board, I mean, I would just go ahead and put in a full basement. I would prefer a full basement, but I don't know what I'm going to find once we start digging down.
That's all I have, Bruce. For now.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I know we go through several rounds of this. Jill, anything on your side you'd like to explore?
Nothing for now.
Okay, thank you. Michael?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very helpful to have the site plan. It's very difficult to, assess this application without having that information. Question, I heard a couple of references to the contours of the property.
Right.
Will the site plan contain, will it be a topographical map where we can see the elevations?
Well, it does have contours on it. But when I looked at it, I'm not sure you can get a good feel for it.
Okay.
That's why I'm willing to, if somebody wants to meet me there, I can meet you there. Just give me a time and day and walk the property. That was part of my message when I sent it to Brianna. There was an explanation for the description of the property, and it would be. I think it's really worthwhile seeing it. At least one of the members.
And just thank you. And it's really a question for anyone who might know the answer to it. We do have some of the documents that were submitted. One of them is the environmental assessment form. And I just, so I took a look at that. Thanks for submitting that. And when I went online to the Department of Environmental Conservation to pull up the property, there were electronically filled forms. And I don't know, if there is a timestamp for the ones that were submitted to the DEC website versus the one that was submitted to the town. But I took a look at both of them, and I noticed there were some differences in the responses to various questions on those forms. And I just wonder if, which one it's a document question, really. Which one should be the operable document? Should it be the one from the website or the one that we have that was sent to the town? And I guess I would take it from there because I do have questions about some answers being different.
Well, I
So
think
Mike, I'm sorry, Mary Lou, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, that's okay. We spoke at the same time. This is an area variance for a residential property, so it's exempt from seeker review. It's a type 2 action, so we do not have to do seeker review.
Okay. Simple enough. Thank you.
That's an easier one than usual. When you do make a determination, although you don't have to do a seeker review, you can, take the environment of the neighborhood into consideration, but you don't need formal seeker review on this.
I see. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I did.
There is a question though.
By the way, and it was for the property at 436 Towpath, which I also own. And I walked through that with the DEC, a representative of the New Paltz. And I didn't really fill out a form as far as I recall. What I did was I tried to see if we were if anything I was doing was in a designated area deemed at risk or special waterway or wetlands. And everything came up negative, but he would not say, well, fine, I concur. He would just say, you don't fit the criteria. So he wouldn't give me a positive, but he wouldn't give me negative because the property didn't fit with what the project was for that site, and I assumed it didn't fit for 442 either because it's further away from the stream.
Mary Lou, I think what Mike's question was leading to as well is that the inconsistencies in the document, while it's not critical for the secret review, should that document be amended in order to reflect the more accurate?
Well, we don't even look at that document because we
Okay.
don't do a seeker review. That is the first of the seeker
Right.
review. And I think that what the applicant's saying, and maybe I misunderstood, is that may have been for a different property. Michael, do
That
you know
was
if it
for the-
was?
Yeah, I did talk to someone, but I didn't fill out a document that I recall.
So
It was
we-
for
Okay.
436, which is certainly within, but it's also lower in elevation.
So I think what Michael's talking about, there was a document submitted on April 26th, which is the short form assessment form. And a couple of the discrepancies that I noted as well, Mike, I think you probably picked up on the same ones, was in box 15, where it says, does the site of the proposed action contain any species of animal, associated habitats listed on the state, federal government threatened or endangered? The box is checked no, while online you'll see that the bald eagle is checked, the box is checked yes for the bald eagle presence.
Yeah.
And then box 16 right below that, and then box 16 right below that is the site located in the 100-year floodplain. And the submission on the 26th says no, but the EAF form online says yes, right? Was there others that you noted, Mike?
Yes, I noted those, and also, does any portion of the project site contain wetlands or other water bodies, including streams, rivers, ponds, or lakes? And it was checked as yes on the one that was submitted online.
Yeah, I didn't submit that.
I understand.
So,
Understood. I'm not,
And there's
and I'm
no-
not questioning that. So we're
okay,
clear.
and there's not a bald eagle in the area that I know of.
That's why
and
they're
the other one
endangered,
is-
because they're so few. Right.
Okay, and the other, and I certainly didn't check that box. And the other one is, the project is not in the 100-year, within the 100-year flood plain. It's outside it. And the other project that I also tried at 436, that also was not. That was outside it as well. But it was within 100 feet of the 100-year flood plain. So when
Well,
I
again,
discussed that,
We're looking at this without the site plan, so that's
right,
that's part-
correct.
Right.
And I backed away from it. It sounded too complicated. So 436 is not something I backed away from. So, but I didn't submit the document that you've seen online. I didn't put my name on it.
No.
Check any.
We're comparing the state DEC submission. The state DEC
But
has a
I
website that
didn't-
has that.
But I didn't
Document
submit that.
I understand that. We're comparing that online document to the document that you did submit and saying that there's discrepancies to what we see online on the state site to what you submitted and asking about that.
Okay. Well, you're asking me
Right.
to discuss the discrepancies, but I haven't submitted discrepancies.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right. I've only submitted the one that went to through the planning board to you. There was an environmental site assessment. That's the only one I've submitted.
So I do have some questions, I guess. So you have properties that abut one another, right?
Correct.
One is, right? So, and one you've built a house on already, yes? Or was that existing when you purchased
no,
it?
that was an existing cabin done in the 1930s. And I was hoping to use its the fact that we had an existing building there to grandfather, I also had supposed grandfathered I have a well there and I have a septic system. I was hoping to just simply build a new building outside the flood zone and tear the old building down.
Okay. So,
Okay, and then
the-
so then it
no,
got
you're
complicated.
confusing me a bit. I think I'm confusing you. So,
Okay.
hang on.
But that was something that was done before I resubmitted for 442. So there are two
Okay.
properties.
So let's talk about the property that you have the appeal with. That's at 442, right?
Correct.
Okay. So on the property at 442, was there a structure on that property prior?
No
structure?
Not
Not
structure.
a barn, not a cabin, no septic?
Nothing. Nothing.
It was the other one, 436, that had it, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And that other property, they are contiguous. The goal is to, obviously, if we get a newer building permitted, is to take down the older building and just not put anything there.
Does anyone have anything else at this time? Bill, Charlie, anything else you'd like to back up and cover?
No, not at this time.
I have one quick thing to mention that I should have mentioned it earlier. I did drive by the property. I did go by a little earlier this afternoon. And so that's one of the things I was interested in seeing the topographical map. Sorry, I'm in trouble with that word today. But I could see the temporary power that had been installed. And, if I could ask, is the home site in the neighborhood of the temporary power stanchion?
Is it in that? I didn't
Yeah.
quite understand. It
I noticed that there is a temporary power stanchion,
Right.
like 4x4s, pressure treated with, where power can ultimately be brought. Is that the location of the proposed structure?
Yeah, more or less. It
There's a
would
big
be if
boulder.
as you yeah, it would be to the left, which is
Okay.
on the this thing has a, what can I say? It's a plateau.
Yeah.
So the stream it drops down fairly dramatically. So we would be further along. That would be
Okay.
I would say be about 25 to 30 feet to the left of that.
Right. There was some
temporary-
clearing done some years back, some tree
Yeah,
clearing. Okay.
Yeah, my son and I did that.
All right. All right.
2014, but it'd be further along on the what can I say, the plateau area. So it'd be further, the further along you go, the further above the stream you are.
Okay. Thank you.
So
I
if
don't have any-
if you're a local, I'd love to meet you down there and walk you around it.
Well, I know Deep Hole, and a lot of us have been there. I don't go anymore, but I saw a couple swimmers today when I drove by.
Well, if you wanted to get a good sense of the topography, it's really, you won't get it from the site map. I couldn't really make it out clearly. Maybe somebody who knows how to read topographic maps better than I do would get it, but it helps to walk it. And I have it, I have the building. I actually have it partially staked out with these, those tall, thin snow markers that people do.
Yes.
Those orange markers. Yeah.
I saw
I have, Yeah, I have those staked out to kind of roughly show where it will go. I don't know, I don't know how much rock, if there is rock, or how much soil is there. So I can't say it will be a full basement. Although the intent is if the site permits a full basement, I would do a full basement.
I wasn't there long, but I could see exposed Chongom conglomerate there, which that's not builder friendly, but
No, but it
sounds
drops
like you
right
found
off.
spots. Yeah.
Well, that's why we were surprised to see the health department. They did 8 feet down, and it was all soil. I mean, it's glacial till is what it is.
Right.
Some larger stones and a lot of clay, and but it's it percolates, and they found it 3 or 4 sites that they tested. So we got the approval for that.
Thanks for your answers. I don't have any more questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
So without those site plans, I think we're at a bit of a disadvantage here.
Right.
So, I certainly would like to make the motion that we extend this hearing into next month,
I will second that.
so that we have time to review the
Do you
site plan.
mean the pre-app, or do you mean to have a hearing next month? Because
So my understanding is this is not a pre-app.
oh, okay, that's how it came. But you don't have a public hearing.
I don't have a public
right?
hearing, so I don't want to schedule a public hearing for next
Okay.
month, because I want to have the time to review the site plan, to gather it first of all, gather it in
Right.
and review it and see if it's delineating the topographical elements that we're looking for. And then also in that time, what we'll do is work with the secretary du jour for the zoning board, so that we can each schedule times that are convenient for both us and for Mr. Sturgis, so that individually we can go and walk the property and take a look at it, be able to formulate an opinion on it. So
Yeah. I'm actually down in the area. I hike the area every weekend. I do Minnewaska and Mohonk, so I'm an hour, little over an hour away. I'm in Albany, so it's an easy drive as far as I'm concerned. And
I greatly appreciate the flexibility that you're providing in that. One of the considerations that we have is that, we can't go over as a group because we have to be sensitive to the open meetings law. So when we go
Right.
individually, it's much more convenient for us rather than have to publish notice and meet as a team, right?
Bruce,
So,
just
yeah.
to let you know, and I was going to mention this because we do have new members. You actually can go for a group, but you can't talk about it when you're
Right.
there. Or you can go, in members of 2. Just if you have 3 or more, you can't talk about it.
It's 3 or more that trigger it. So, because that's the quorum. So, I think we have to be sensitive to that. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
That,
would it
it's
be
easier if
helpful
we.
would it be helpful if I did a cell phone video, and emailed it to some sites, so you could see you could probably see the contour from that.
Again, I appreciate the offer and the flexibility. I know for me, I would prefer to walk the property. I don't know
Okay.
others,
That's
how do they
fine.
feel? I see heads, you can't see the heads bobbing online, at least because you're on the phone, but the heads are bobbing at me that they all feel they would prefer to walk the property as well. So,
Everybody's welcome.
yeah, thank you. We appreciate that. So with that, I make the motion to extend this hearing into next month.
Just
Mary
don't
Lou,
call the hearing.
Just a quick question, if I could ask, if the applicant agrees, can the members go to the property without?
I was going to ask him if he would have any objection to
No.
people looking
ahead.
without you there. Is it okay if they just?
I have to freeze up. just to see
Oh,
what they-
absolutely. Just be careful. There are a lot of ticks.
Wear your long pants and
mean-
your high socks.
It's a deer hotspot. They like to sleep in the hollow area that's there, and you brush through anything grassy or the blueberries that are there, and you'll get a dozen ticks on you. So just be careful with it. And the gate is unlocked. It's just you lift up the latch and you go in.
And the area where he's going to potentially put this house is marked with the snow sticks, we'll call them.
Yeah, the snow sticks, right.
So you'll be able to get a good feel for that. I think that'd be very helpful.
Yeah, those are marked. You can see a rough. It's a 30. What is it? A 36 by 28 foundation footprint. So you'll see it. It's once you see one of these things, you'll see the other three.
Okay, so would you like to table this discussion until next month, Bruce? Is that what you propose?
I think it is.
Okay.
That's your motion?
That's my motion. Is there a second?
I will second.
All right. Christina, can we have a roll call vote on that, please?
Sure can. Chair Sars,
Aye.
Mr. Wassel,
Aye.
Mr. Behringer,
Aye.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
where's Jill?
She's there.
Hi. Here. Hi, Jill.
Hi.
And Miss Bresler.
That was Jill.
Thank
Well,
you.
I don't think, it sounded like you said hi, but did you say aye?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we get Mr. Fisher in there?
Yes.
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 That's okay. Very good. All right. All right. So thank you again, Mr. Sturgis. And, we'll be in touch on if we, just to let you know when we are walking around the property, so you're aware of it, don't
Okay.
wanna
Thank
just-
you very much for your
don't want to
time. All.
trespass. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. With that,
I
are there
make
any-
the motion, we adjourn.
Are there any more items you'd like to discuss regarding this application? No. Okay. And then for other business, just in Brianna's absence, people who are taking training classes, please be sure to record what it is you're taking. To ensure that it gets entered correctly, you can email it to me as well as email it when Brianna's replacement is named. So this way, there's two of us tracking it. We won't lose it for sure. I also incorporate it into the annual report that we give the board. So it's good that I have it in advance too. It helps me out at the end of the year. So, okay. Does anyone else have any other business? I'll take silence for a no. All
Bill
right,
had
Bill.
business, right, Bill?
I make a motion,
Yes.
we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Can do this without a roll call. All
You
those
can
in
do that
favor?
without a roll call, yeah.
Right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Opposed? All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
May 20th meeting is
Nice
adjourned.
meeting, all you new people.
Bye.
Bye.
See everybody later.